Welcome to the video. I'm going to be talking to Arc System Works in this video about Guilty Gear Strive and the recent announcement 2.0. And this video is also going to be for anybody that plays Guilty Gear Strive, people that have been playing Guilty Gear since the beginning, way before I have, and people that started with Guilty Gear like me from Guilty Gear Xrd Sign. So just a little bit of background on myself with Guilty Gear. I just said I started with Guilty Gear Sign, and I don't know what it was, but for whatever reason, I decided to buy this version of the game right here. I don't know if you can see. This was the limited edition version of the game back when it released on PS4. This is Guilty Gear Xrd Sign. Now, I've played some of the older games. What was it? Plus R? Accent Core or something like that. And I played the original Guilty Gear, the first one, and it's definitely come a long way since the first game. And I just like the characters, I like the story, I like the way the gameplay has played for years. However, when Guilty Gear Strive released, it was such a huge departure from everything that I personally knew about Guilty Gear, and a lot of the older fans of Guilty Gear knew about Guilty Gear and knew how to play Guilty Gear, right? Like, a lot of the systems are different, a lot of the characters play differently, and it just wasn't what people were expecting. I've tried to give this game a chance over and over and over again since release, and I was impressed by how good the visuals were. I was impressed by the music, like the story, the characters, and how you managed to still have them feel like they were the same characters, but it wasn't that good. The characters were there in Strive. They had similar moves, I recognize, but they weren't the same characters. This game was playing like Street Fighter, but with a Guilty Gear skin over top of it. And people were sharing their criticism online for a long time. And I feel like what happened is that the old fan base got kicked out of Guilty Gear. They had to go to something else, go back to the older games, because the new fan base, I think, overtook the old one, and that should not have happened. What I believe should have happened with Guilty Gear personally is you could have taken systems from the old game of Xrd, used it with the new vision for the mechanics of Strive. So that way, the old community of Guilty Gear could have taught the new community that exists right now how to play Guilty Gear. You should have given the community the opportunity to grow naturally on its own, instead of forcing one half of the community, the part that was there from the beginning, away from the series. Now they have to go play an old game that no one's really playing anymore because you didn't think about them when you made the game. You were thinking about how to get a broader audience for Guilty Gear. I mean, it worked, okay? Like, it worked. Guilty Gear is way more popular than it's ever been, which it deserves to be popular because these characters, the story is awesome. Everything about Guilty Gear is really good, so it deserves to be popular. However, at what cost though? Because now we have a whole fan base that isn't the same fan base, and the people that used to like Guilty Gear might not like Guilty Gear the same way anymore. I don't think so. I think those players that you got rid of by making Guilty Gear this way in Strive, they're gonna remember that shit. They're not gonna forget that shit, right? If you make a new game and you do what I just suggested, making both Xrd and Strive and putting them together, I think they'll come back. But that's concerning. I understand, like, financially, there's all this other stuff business-wise why you did it, but damn, like, there's probably a better way that you could have done it and you didn't do it. So now we have a game that keeps trying to add systems, make people feel like you're going back to the old stuff. But it's not the old stuff. It's still Strive. It's still Strive. This game means a lot to me, but it also means a lot to several other people that have been playing these games way longer than I have. The newer fan base of Guilty Gear does not know really what they're missing out on. What I mean is, a lot of these players don't know the moves that you got rid of for some of these characters. They don't know how, say, Axel and Ramlethal played before this, because they played totally different, and I think they played a lot better. I don't understand the design decisions for some of these characters and why they play so differently. They didn't have to. I know Guilty Gear Strive is already a successful game for you, but it could be better. Not just balance wise. I know people talk about balance a lot, but I'm talking about the system mechanics. I'm talking about how this game feels to play. I believe now that the newer Guilty Gear fan base has played Guilty Gear Strive enough that they would actually like to see the old Gatlings, for example, come back, and other mechanics be brought back into Guilty Gear, and other special moves that aren't in some of these characters' movesets. That I think they would like to see these. The only thing that's holding all this back is you guys. Here's what I will do in this video. I will talk about what I believe you guys should do when it comes to presentation for 2.0, how the main menu looks, the title screen, all that kind of stuff, quality of life features that I thought of at the top of my head, visual stuff to make it feel like the game has evolved. And the next thing I want to talk about is system mechanics that I think you guys should bring back, and just things that could change the feel of the game when you're playing it in a good way. Small things that you guys have in previous games, but it's not in this one. Another thing I'm going to talk about in this game is the presentation of the actual battles themselves. When it comes to some elements on the HUD, and also characters and their interactions with each other, the dialogue, the character intros, stuff like that, then I'm going to be talking about the actual game. System mechanics that I believe would do really well if you found a way to somehow make it work. I want Guilty Gear Strive 2.0 to be really good. Like, really good. I'm actually expecting a lot more, but I know that for whatever reason, you guys might not do any of the stuff I'm going to suggest in this video, because I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe you're going to wait for the next game. Maybe you'll take these things into consideration, or maybe I'll have to wait until the next Guilty Gear title when Sin and Unica are going to be the main characters. And if that's the case, then I hope they play completely different in the next game, because how they are right now, that's not good. I don't think their current design is that good at all. Here's what I will not do in this video. What I'm not going to do is act like this game is perfect. I'm not going to be like some other content creators that you've seen, where they don't go all in about what they say, and they'll say some stuff and they'll be really nice about it. I'm not going to be nice about it. It's been 4 years. I've been here since day one with Strive. I'm tired of people being nice about this shit. I'm going to say when something sucks. I'm going to say when something feels like absolute dog shit. I'm tired of acting like this shit is good all the time, because it's not. So let's get started with the video. And yeah, part one. We're going to talk about the opening of the game right here.
Guilty Gear Strive.
You see that? But what's different? Some people don't know this, but there should be music here. There should be music. There should be something. Like, it's just the background with some graphic moving around. Then there's no fire, there's no chains, there's none of that Guilty Gear stuff going on here. I understand it's a new era of Guilty Gear, but like, you never changed it before. Now everything looks kind of basic. But now you have this opening. This here is a great opening. It's fantastic. I hope that you guys can make a new opening. A new opening that has the song from season 2, or the new one, Rock and Roll Maniac, whatever that's called. Like that one right there. That song could be used, and you have a new opening animation. Because if this is going to be 2.0, I'm expecting a new animation for something like this, because the game's been out for so long. You made an anime. Maybe I'm asking for too much here, but I think this would be appropriate to have a new opening for the game. Anyway, let's continue. Like right here with this menu as well, this little pop-up. With this pop-up as well, you have the little Guilty Gear crumbling metal symbol there. But it's funny how that's there, but it's not on any of the other symbols, icons on the game. It's confusing to me sometimes, because like right here, all these icons are great, but I feel like if you just added a little bit of that extra metal finish for all of these icons, I feel like I'm still playing Guilty Gear. I know, it's a new era of Guilty Gear. I get it. I understand that. You wanted to get more people into the game, but like, Guilty Gear had a set visual style, and to just deviate from that constantly, with even like just simple things like the damn menus, that shit kind of gets on my nerves. I'm gonna be real with you. I would love it if the backgrounds for all of these were different, because I've seen these before. This is in the game. This is in the game. This is from the opening, right? I've seen this before too. This is from the animation when you first announced Guilty Gear Strive. I feel like you guys are so good at making animations and so good at making these characters feel alive. I know that you guys can make better backgrounds for these, because I've seen the animation work. I've seen the artwork. I've paid attention. You guys know what you're doing. I think you guys can make new art for these backgrounds. All of them. I think so. It could have characters interacting with each other. This one could have Soul and Kai fighting each other, but actually be a different image than this one. Replay could have Chaos with a remote in his hand watching TV or something stupid like that. It would be funny. Then gallery would be the same, fishing would be the same, figure, maybe you would have a bunch of figures doing something stupid or in the background instead of just chaos here. You could put chaos up on replay, right? The store, I guess this works, right? Because this is one of the levels and it's a store. Maybe you could have characters shopping or something. Artwork of them shopping, going to the store, like Elfelt and Ramlethal or something, going to the store. Just something that feels like there's more than just you copying and pasting stuff that we already have in the game, and that's the background. I'm just asking for something more interesting here. The next thing I'm going to talk about is the music of the menu, because here we go. Okay, that's enough. All right, that music sounds like somebody died. It sounds like I'm at a fucking funeral. I get tired of listening to this. I'm not joking. Back when this game first released and you had the sunset in the background over the waves of the ocean, dog, you're fucking with me, right? Am I at a funeral? Did Guilty Gear die? I mean, in some ways, some people could say that it did because, I mean, look at the game compared to the previous games, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. But I am, because I said I wasn't going to hold back, right? This feels like somebody died. I would love it if the music was a little bit different. Like, I'm going to show an example of the previous stuff in the old menus after I'm done talking about this stuff here. So be prepared, because some of you that watch this video are going to be like, why is this so much more interesting in some ways? Not in all ways, but in some ways. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Our system, please explain. I don't know. I don't get it. Another thing I think you guys should do is this, right? So when you go into sound settings, right? I think there should be another menu put in here. Another option put in here. What's that option? Changing the main menu music. There's a game that you guys created where you can do that. Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. If I remember correctly, you can change the theme music to anybody's theme in the game in the main menu. Why can't we do that here? That would be an awesome change. So every time you enter the game, you're playing Drift or something. I'm sorry, I'm a Happy Chaos player. So like, I would rather listen to Drift when I open up the menu. Actually, that any of the songs that you have unlocked would be right here underneath voice language, right? You go down here, you just select any of the songs in the game that you have unlocked, because of course the music is locked behind the certain characters. This kind of change would be great. It would be awesome. And it would make me not have to sometimes turn the music off and switch to Spotify sometimes, because I just don't want to listen to that. This is another change I think you should make, and it's going to be right here. You might know where I'm going with this ARC system, so lobby match. So let's say you're walking through and you're like, ah, man, I don't want to listen to this music, because let me play the music, because this music drives me up the wall. This is what you hear. Okay. This music drives me up the wall too. Oh my God. When I hear this, I'm not thinking, yay, let's go to the park lobby. Yay, let's fucking play the game. I love Guilty Gear Strive. I'm not thinking that shit. You know what I'm thinking? Good God, let me change the fucking music. I would rather listen to Drift on repeat for the rest of my fucking life than listen to this. Like, I'm not joking. It drives me up the fucking wall. I have to deal with the fact that I play as characters like Happy Chaos, Leo Whitefang. Those are the two main characters I play as. I play as Soul and Kai too, but I switch to them when nobody wants to fight me, because I play two characters that everybody hates. Arc system, I'm gonna give you the experience of somebody that plays Leo Whitefang and Happy Chaos, right? So you go into the lobby and nobody wants to fight you because nobody likes these characters, okay? Granted, I get why, I understand that, right? So I'm sitting here. Eventually somebody will walk up, but that takes a long ass time because people are doing this all day, right? You know what they're doing? You know what they're doing, Arc System Works? This is what they're doing. They are avoiding matches like a motherfucker. They're avoiding everybody. They want to fight characters like Milia and Chip because they have no health and they'll die immediately, so they don't have to think too hard about the match. They want to fight Sol and Kai because they're on the box of the game. They want to fight Mei because haha dolphins and shit. They want to fight Zato because everybody thinks he's weak when he's not that weak. He's just been toned down because I know how he used to play in Xrd Sign. Thank God you nerfed him. Because we don't want Xrd Sign Zato. We do not want that ever again. I had to say it here. So, people are avoiding matches and trying to pick and choose who they want to fight all the time, so they're running around in circles, right? So I have to sit in training mode for a long ass time. Finally find somebody who wants to fight Chaos, because God forbid people want to fight this character. I always end up running into Potemkin, and I know how you balance that character. My God, it doesn't matter who you're playing as. This character is a nightmare to fight. I deal with Nagoro Yugi. I'll be fighting Soul players. They're still mashing on one button the whole time. And people already don't want to fight my character, so I have to get the worst of it. Alright, people act like assholes when they're fighting Heavy Chaos. Granted, I know why, but I have to deal with this on the fucking daily when I play this game. People are fucking maniacs over here in this game, okay? On top of that, guess what I have to hear through dealing with some of this shit? Nah, man. Nope. Allow me to escape from this hell. I'm making a Hellfire song reference if you didn't know. I'm out of this hell. Like, get me out. Get me out, okay? Get me out of here. I want to switch songs. Once again, I would rather listen to Drift on repeat. Rather listen to Hellfire on repeat. Any other song than that. Please save me from this. Save all of us from this song. It's in my head sometimes. Get it out. Get it out. Let me get out of here. Enough of this rant. I think you get the point. I'm like joking, but I'm also serious, by the way. Like, I am dead serious. I kind of joke around a little bit when I talk, but like underneath that, oh no, I'm kind of pissed off. But let's continue. Let's continue. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about. So I'm going to go to dojo, put the training mode, and right here, this looks fine. I don't have a problem with this. You go into selecting your character. What's wrong with this? Arc System, what is wrong with this? I think a lot of you that played the previous games know what's wrong, but I'm talking to Arc System here. What's wrong with this menu? It looks too modern, right? It's not just me that thinks this. I know it's not just me that thinks this. When you get here though, to the actual character select screen, it looks good, right? It looks very clean, it's very simple, but that's the problem. It looks very simple. It's too simple. It's too sterile of a design for what Guilty Gear has been for years. The way that the character select screen looked in the previous game was insanely cool. When I open this up, it just, okay, but there's no cool animation playing out. There's none of that. You just select your character. That's it. I'm like, okay, but in the previous game, I'm going to play this when I'm done talking about the character select screen, by the way. I'm going to play all of these different things from Xrd Rev 2, the previous game, Arc System. Your new fan base of Guilty Gear needs to see this shit, because you went all the fuck in when it came to the character select screen. Character select! Here's what I'm going to do.
Soul Bad Guy.
Selected Soul Bad Guy, right? Look at that, right? He has his whole animation playing. That's cool, that's normal. Guilty Gear's been doing shit like that, right? Here's what I don't see though. So there's gonna be people that don't know this, so I'm gonna talk about it. You know what's missing from these character selects? It's the artwork of the character. Because before, the artwork of the character would be right where Soul is right now. I would click on him, and then it would turn into Soul. Then I would select the character and the color of the character, right? Yeah, right? And then you'd select it, then he'd do his pose. There's no artwork for these characters. Why? Why something so simple? It's been there since Guilty Gear Xrd. Y'all been doing that shit and you decided not to do it. What? Why? Why is it like that? Why? It's not like the artwork for these characters is bad. The artwork for these characters is really good. So why would you not display it here, have people click it, it turns into Soul, it says Soul Bad Guy, and then you select the color, and then you, boom, done. What is going on here? You did it. You did it before. You did this before. Why can't you just do it again with this game? Especially with how good everything looks. It would be really cool if it would just fade into the character. That would be, oh my God, it'd be so good. I'm not going to talk about that as much as I'm going to talk about the actual menu itself. Everything feels like I'm looking at a damn mobile game. That was the complaint about the old menu that you had in the main menu. It looked like a mobile game. This still looks like a mobile game. Where's the interesting shit going on here? Guilty Gear has a set style. It has a set theme. Keep going with that shit. Roll with that shit. Rock with that shit. Every time I open this up, I go like I feel like these menus could look cooler. The artwork is right there, by the way. The artwork is right here. Artwork's right here. Why can't that artwork be the full display where the character is? I select them, and then it turns into the actual character model. I'm not asking for that much, because y'all just did that shit in Rev 2, Xrd Sign, Revelator. You did it before. I think you can do it again, right? Anyway, let's move on to the next part of the video, and this one's going to be a little bit interesting. This part here. This looks cool, but the music that's playing here is Sky Should Be High. I believe that's the name of the song. Why is that song playing? Why can't it just be any other song? In fact, why can't that look more interesting? Here's another thing I'm going to show on the screen after this part of the video. When I show this to people, some people will go, damn, how could they go visually from that to just a boring screen with an eagle flying and the character names? What the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on? Wake the fuck up, dog. Y'all had it good right there. The previous game, you did it. You did it. The characters popped up like Soul Bad Guy versus Kai Kisk. Get ready to rock. When this part of the video is done, I'm going to go over to that. And when it's gonna piss me off. It's gonna piss me off. Because I know y'all got it. I know y'all can do this shit. You just refuse to fucking do it. It pisses me off. All right, we're gonna go to the next part of the video. Let's get this started. Okay, so this next part of the video, Arc System, I'm going to play Rev 2's opening. Then I'm going to play the title screen music. From then on, I'm gonna change the music because you have the same title screen music as the main menu music. So I'm gonna change the music. It's gonna be of a certain song. And those of you that played Xrd Rev 2, you know what song it is, and you know what the title of the song is. Okay, that's how I feel right now about Guilty Gear. Okay, that's how I feel. I'm not even gonna fucking act like everything's great out here, because like I said in the beginning of the video, I don't give a shit enough to hide how I feel and shit about this game. Just watch what has been removed from the style of Guilty Gear, because I don't know. No, ask the developers. Arc System, people want to know why you changed all this shit. I'm still confused as to why. You didn't have to change. Guilty Gear had a set style of how things looked. It could have just altered it a little bit and just kept it the same. In some cases you did that, and in other cases you just decided to just say, oh, I don't know, people aren't gonna like all the metal all over the screen. Let's just make it a boring, basic menu. Select, press the game, you're done, play the game, yay. That's bullshit. And I know you guys have to know that's bullshit. All right, that's enough talking on my end. I'm gonna play the footage now. Here we go.
Guilty Gear Xrd Rev 2.
here's what we're gonna do next. I'm going to open up the settings here, turn the music on. And when I turn the music on, I'm gonna go into the battle menu, go into training mode, and then I'm going to play out the music and the whole entire theme and how everything looks for the character select menu. Because Arc System, you had a great design, you had great animations for it, and then you simplified everything, and it's missing this. Look at these backgrounds, look at all this. This feels like Guilty Gear, this feels like it right here. And you got rid of it. I don't know why. I don't think you should have ever gotten rid of this. Look at this design, the gears, the metal, all of this should be in Strive and it's not. But here we go. I'm going to turn the music on. I'm going to play this out. I'm going to take myself off the screen real quick first, and we're going to play everything. Here we go.
Who dares to enter the mayhem?
I'm going to talk about why this stuff is so cool. Animation wise, it's not the background because that's of like the world map. Look at how all of these chains connect together to turn into the character blocks. Look at how all of these characters just pop up on the screen, right? Like look at how each block has a character inside of them with their character portrait. And then when you click it, right, it's right there, it turns into Soul. And you can select all these colors here, and then you can select them, pick your technical or stylish mode, which, yes, for those of you that don't know, there was a mode that made it even easier to play this game. And I mean, there were some people that picked this. I recommend going technical, but for those people that don't want to really learn all of that, they had an option for that. Then you can change the buttons or leave them the same. So I'm gonna leave them the same. And you pick your stage. Look at this, stage select. I'm talking about all of this stuff, and I'm using Enough is Enough as like one of the main themes of this, because enough is enough, man. Like look, I get it. You want your fighting games to sell. You wanted Guilty Gear to sell. The people that have bought Guilty Gear supporting this is awesome, because Guilty Gear deserved that many people to play the game. It's that good. Guilty Gear is a really good series. However, once again, the old fan base that's been here from the beginning, what do you do with those people? Because they would have probably loved to champion this game, saying it's like the best game of all time. Strive. I'm talking about Guilty Gear Strive. If you had given them some of the stuff that they got in this game and catered to the new players. You only just chose to cater to the new players. People that don't even know what Guilty Gear is. Obviously, making Guilty Gear Strive and releasing that game at the time that the game released was a perfect move for you guys, and financially, I'm pretty sure it did really well. That's good. It was worth the decision to make the game like this, but at the same time, was it though? In the long run, we're almost at year 5 of this game. Now it's like, okay, now everybody knows what Guilty Gear is. Now what? Because the gameplay is the same, but the gameplay was way different before. And I still will argue that the old gameplay mixed with some of the elements of Strive's gameplay would have been perfect. But here we are once again. I'm gonna just go into training mode. So while we're in training mode, I'm going to talk about the visuals, what you see in front of you immediately with the HUD, the health bars, the tension meter, and how this game moves, how it feels to play, and just small things about movesets that have been removed, other things that have been changed in Strive. Okay, Arc System Works. When you're making the HUD of the game, I know that you guys tend to match the main menu, and then you have everything match what the main menu's vibe is, right? Like, so there's chains and metal everywhere for Guilty Gear Rev 2's opening and the title screen and the main menus. So that matches what you see when you go into the HUD. It all has to flow together, right? In Guilty Gear Strive, however, everything looks like the main menu, but then it also doesn't. It feels like you're trying to like make a new version of what you have here with all the metal and the flames and the lightning, and then it just falls flat. What I mean is, when I'm looking at the HUD of Strive, right, I'm looking at like the tattoo looking design. That's good, but then the health bar doesn't look as cool as the tattoo design that you have surrounding all of the HUD at the top of the screen. Does that make any sense? It just doesn't work. It's like you took the main menu from season 1 and you baked like the really boring safe design into the damn health bar. That doesn't make any sense, because if I look at the health bar here, I can see the flames oozing inside of it, like it's the life energy of the fucking character I'm playing as. See what I mean? It works. When I hit said character, watch what happens to the health bar. Okay, look at Leo's health bar when I hit him. Did you see that? Look at the animation. You not only hear the sound effect of the sword slashing him, right? But you also see that it's a chunk of his health taken away, and it does this little effect like it got cut, it got sliced off. Strive does not do that. It does not do that. The health just kind of just gets hit and it goes down. It goes down. It goes down. That's all it does. There's no little small, tiny little animation when I'm watch it again. I'm gonna do it again. Look at that. Please put something like that in Strive or in a future Guilty Gear game. Please. Because how are we losing the personality of these fucking health gauges, right? Let me go to tension now. Look at this tension meter, right? As I move, it goes up, right? Look at the animations as it gets higher. Look at the lightning. Yeah, you see that? I don't understand why in Strive it's just a simple little animation that fills up, and it's not as cool as that. It's cool as shit. I need that level of cool even in the tension meter, personally, because it made me feel like, even though I'm not looking at that all the time, it looks cool. The visual needs to be there, right? I think. And look at the risk gauge. I'm gonna just boost it to maximum. Even the risk gauge, look at that. As the risk gauge is rising, look at that. You see this flashing bar like, uh-oh, my risk is getting higher. That's not good, right? It makes it seem urgent. There's urgency here. There's urgency here. And I don't understand what's going on. Like, visually with Strive, you see where things are, you can see it. But like, I want to know that my risk is getting higher. I want that shit to be flashing. Something visual that makes me know, oh my god, Soul could kill me right here. I didn't know how long I was blocking. Thanks for flashing in the corner so I can tell, like, whoa, I better get out of here. There's a sense of urgency to every single one of these items on the screen. That's not in Strive at all. That's not in Strive. When you got hit, you know, well, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna take 80% of my life. Well, okay, whatever. It's a high damage game. The next thing I want to talk about is the timer. Look at the timer. You can't tell me that's not cool. The timer in Strive looks alright, but look at that flame in the background. Look at that shit. What's missing from the HUD in Strive is that there's no 3D elements anywhere. Everything's 2D, everything's really like just basic. There's nothing extreme going on, right? There's nothing crazy. And Guilty Gear is known to be crazy, so why not just go all in with the HUD elements and make things pop out, make things stand out? Because as it is in this game, It's like everything here looks like it serves a purpose. Everything here is telling you, you better pay attention because your meter is low. You better pay attention because your risk gauge is high, because it's flashing. Oh, you're running low on health. Uh-oh, you're running low on health. You know, like, look at the elements flashing on the screen. It's telling you, yo, you better do something about this. You better do something about that. And Strive just kind of has everything there, and it's like, well, you'll see if you have no health, because I mean, you're gonna be stuck in a combo for the whole time anyway. The wall's gonna break, then you're gonna look up and have most of your health be gone after one interaction. We're gonna talk about this next point here. Xrd Rev 2 was a game full of a lot of freedom, a lot of like moving around. Sometimes it was hard to move your character around because when you're trying to do things like instant air dash, it can get kind of clunky. I know, like, I tried playing this earlier and I was like, whoa, was the game really like this? It's been a minute since I played the game, but this game, in my opinion, had tons of things in it that the new player to Guilty Gear playing Strive would love this shit. They would love this shit. Here's why. First off, the Gatling system. I know you've had tons of complaints since day one about the Gatling system being removed and completely changed for Strive. But I know why people didn't like this new version of Strive's Gatlings, because look at this in comparison. Everybody knows what Strive looks like, right? But this is the Gatling in Guilty Gear Xrd Rev 2. Ready? Here we go. Punch, kick, slash, heavy slash, gun fling. Do I need to say anything else? Do I need to say anything else about why that's cooler? Let me take it a step further, because I will. Watch this. Sweet moment. Oh, wait, I don't have enough meter for that. Whoops! Let me do that again. Tension meter. Oh, I'm not editing that out. All right, here we go. Sweet. Boom, 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 boom. I added an extra move in there. He don't have that in Strive. Wasn't a lot of damage, was it? It probably would have been a little bit more damage than that in Strive. Lower damage, it can be done. You guys choose not to do it, but it can be done. Anyway, let me take it a step further. Let me take this a step further. Okay, I'm gonna move myself down to the bottom of the screen so you can see what I'm doing a little bit easier. This is what I'm talking about when I say like freedom to move around and do other stuff. What I did earlier is just a few things you could do with the Gatling system. But here's where it goes a little bit different, all right? Let me do something like this. Dust. That's what it used to be like. You remember how much damage that does in Strive? A dust combo does a lot of damage in Strive. Okay, compared to that, oh man, holy shit. This game had things going for it. It didn't have to change that much. The Gatling system didn't have to change. Like being able to do shit like, look at that. Look at that. Do I need to say anything else? I don't think I do. For anybody watching this, or for you, Arc System, I don't need to say much else. That spoke for itself. Anybody that's played Strive, their brain would have activated and go like, oh, what if you did this? What if you did this? What if you added that? What you're probably thinking is probably possible, in this game at least. Let me do a combo real quick. I love this one. I love that. I love that shit so much, man. There's different variations of that, but you've probably seen this before. That was the dust loop combo. Our system works. I know you know the dust loop combo. I know y'all know that. Because Soul can do it in Strive. It's a little different, but he can still do it. I'm glad y'all left that in Strive. It's a little easier to do too, thank God, because it's really hard to do in Xrd. That's probably one of the best things about Strive, is that certain inputs were made easier to do, but you removed all of the shit that made the original game good in the process. I don't get it. I don't get it. Anyway, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. I'm gonna do the dust loop. I'm gonna try to do it. I'm just gonna skip the when I actually get it right the first time, because it's gonna take me a second. I'm sorry. Okay, so what I did just then, grabbed I grabbed the recovery. You can also grab burst as well in this game. Oh man. Okay, it was really broken. You could reset people in certain ways multiple times, depending on the character you were fighting against, and it was just like, why? It was really broken. I'm glad that was removed in Strive. Never do that again. That was just so messed up. I'll do something else real quick. Top of my head. This works too. That's another way to do that, but it's just look at how that works, right? You can see that Soul was playing totally different just from these moves alone. Like if you look at all these, well, the kick's the same, but these moves here totally different. They work differently. This is also different, totally different. By the way, fun fact: this move was not like this in the old Xrd sign. It was completely different animation. It was changed for whatever reason. I don't know why. It also moves way faster in Strive too. Oh, Jesus, it is fast as hell in Strive. But just a fun fact. There's some other moves that changed too, like Bedman got a move completely removed from his toolkit, I believe. And then Ramlethal has 2 other moves too. I'm going to show those later just for fun. The air dashing in Xrd is totally better than the air dashing in Strive. However, the air dashing in Strive and the window to cancel moves into air dashing is a lot better in Strive than it is in Xrd. Because in Xrd, moves like this slash move here, I could jump cancel into an instant air dash after this. But the timing is really tight. I have to really be focused to do this because it's been a while since I've done this. Let me see if I can pull it off first try. No, I can't. See what I mean? There we go. I just did it. See, I'm trying to input it like I do in Strive. It doesn't work. I have to like immediately. There we go. See that? There we go. See that? That's how I used to do it. And it's hard to do in this game because sometimes things are timing based. I'm glad that Strive changed that. But that doesn't mean I agree with the changes to the air dashing in Strive. I think it should go back to being like this. Look how fast this is. Look how immediate this is. Like, I would love to be able to instant air dash immediately into something and not have to worry about people looking at the magic circle going, oh, he's coming right at me. I mean, yeah, obviously you can't see Leo, just like, look how big this dude is. Look at this guy. You can't see him dashing at you? Nah, that's bullshit. I like to think that you guys just added that in there just because. You thought that people that were new to fighting games can't look. I'm pretty sure they have eyes in their head. I'm making a song reference right now. Y'all know what song it is. Arc System, you know what song I just referenced. All right, they can see. Don't act like players can't see. They're not that dumb. Anyway, like, I don't know. I feel like you guys think that players are just like completely blind. The players of your games aren't stupid. They can figure it out. You just gotta give them time. You gotta give people like the time to process what's going on. You don't just hold their hand every step of the way and then when they get confused over simple shit. Okay, people who play Strive, who've been playing for like 2 years, still got questions about shit. They still got questions, bro. That's crazy because y'all made this game way easier than this. That's probably because the balance of the game is complete dog shit sometimes, but that we're not gonna get there yet. We're not gonna talk about that just yet. Not just yet. And that's not even gonna be a long part of the video. I'm just gonna talk about it just a little bit. I'm still in Rev 2 right now, so excuse me. I'm gonna keep talking about Rev 2. Okay, so Leo Whitefang. He's a character that was new to Guilty Gear, starting at Guilty Gear Sign. I've been playing as this guy since I bought Guilty Gear Sign, day one, okay? He was the first character I picked up because, look at him, he looks cool as shit, okay? He's an awesome character. He fights like a maniac. I love that shit, and I've been playing as him ever since. Leo Whitefang, however, was a broken piece of shit. What do I mean? Well, people think that the Strive version of Leo is bad, but they don't know. They don't know the horrors. Arc System Works, you are so lucky that nobody who plays as Leo or nobody that fights against Leo in Guilty Gear Strive has ever run into this version of him, okay? You are lucky, because if people knew what he was like before, they would have been like, oh, we should probably stop complaining about Leo. Arc System Works, I'm glad you changed Leo's entire moveset around. I'm glad he is where he is in Strive. I know that would piss people off that fight against him in his Strive version, but these players, the new players, they don't know. They don't know what you took away from this guy. Look at how Leo plays, right? His guard points, his stance, his new animations for his back turn. You know, these are really good. But do you know what it was like before? It was way worse. People think that Leo was a character that was just like overpowered just for the sake of it. No, he wasn't just overpowered for the sake of it. In Xrd, he was overpowered, and also he was just getting away with murder for free. Because in this game, it was harder to react to this. Did you see how I just entered stance just now? I want you to pay attention to how I just entered stance just now. right? Look at this movement. I can't slide and press a button. I have to stop and then press a button, unlike in Stride, right? Let me show you this Gatling combo real quick. Ready? Right? It gets worse. It gets worse. Ready? See that shit? You see it? Oh my god, dude. This character right here, where he did this, hey, good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Because you had to react immediately. If you didn't react, right, you were getting hit. Now it doesn't go as far. Look, this doesn't go as far. Man, you got hit with something like, when you got hit something like this. Imagine. You can follow up after that. They don't know. Strive players don't know. It gets worse. Believe it or not, it gets worse. Ready? Good luck. I can't. People think he's bad now. Oh man, they don't know. They don't know. They don't know. We're not going to talk about character movesets that much longer. I just wanted to show some examples of what was. The last character we're going to talk about is Ramlethal when it comes to just like movesets and what people really wanted to see from Guilty Gear that played the previous games like Xrd. They wanted to see characters stay intact like this character here because all of her moves, oh my god, look at her moves by the way. This is how much Ramlethal could do before. This looks complicated to anybody that's never played as the old version of Ramlethal before or has never fought that version of her before. Actually what this is a whole combination of Gatlings specific for her. You see her Rekka in Strive? That really basic 1, 2, 3 combo she has? This is what it used to be. All of these combinations. This looks complicated, but man, there were people playing Ramlethal a lot, all right? You see that? Look at that. See? Look at this. This move right here, that was the juggle combo. There was a juggle combo for that. I don't know it. Oh my god, I do know it. Whoa, okay, never mind. I lied. I actually do remember how to do that. That's crazy. I didn't play Ramlethal. I was not a Ramlethal player at all. I'm just talking about like, just look at her moves. Look at this. This is her 6P. That's her 6P. I don't know why y'all changed it, whatever the hell that new one is, where she can just dodge attacks and hit you and then go right into a Rekka. She doesn't have a Rekka here. Oh, I just did it. Arc System Works, there's another thing that you did with Ramlethal that I don't know why you did this. You gave her 2 new sword moves. This is one of them. Look at this. Why does she have this? This was added when this game was already considered dead. Nobody was playing this when you added this in. It made me think back then that y'all were gonna make another version of Revelator, like Rev 3. You know, people meme about that today. Rev 3, where is it? But this is why, dude. You updated the character that did not need any more moves, making people think that, oh, there's gonna be a new Guilty Gear. There's gonna be new something else. Oh shit, we're not done yet. Yeah, it's not over yet. Yeah. That's not what happened. Y'all made Strive and people were like, oh shit, what the fuck happened to Ramlethal? Did she get do shit like this? What, dude? Look. That's her jump dust, by the way. Ramlethal had a projectile. Well, let me see if I can do it. There it is. She had a command grab. Her dash speed is disgustingly fast. The thing about Ramlethal in the previous Guilty Gear game, because she was a newer character and she was like a boss character, I believe too, right? She was like a wild ass animal compared to how she is in Strive, because her character's gone through a lot of development. It makes sense, right? But when you look at some of these animations, man, y'all were going crazy. Like, look at exaggerated animations like this. This is her forward kick, by the way. Like, this is so, like, random moves like that It's so good. Look at this. Is her standing heavy slash. This is what it was like before. This is what it used to do. See, so you would be using other moves into that move, right? But this is also what Ramlethal got changed, and it made me go, why? Why did you turn her into a shooting character, Arc System Works? You could have turned her into the same character she's always been, okay? Look at this. The sword move. And if I remember correctly, you could hit these guys before they did anything. What's going on with that? Why did you make her so broken in Strive when she was a really technical character before, and you just took all the technical stuff and you just said raw power, just kill your opponent? You didn't even have to think about it. Why didn't you just give her these moves and have some kind of variation of these moves in Strive? So you didn't have to have the sword toss move. You gave her 2 new moves and you wasted animations. They're nowhere to be found in Strive. Please give her these back. Replace the sword toss with something like this. It's like, she's already a really offensive character. You might as well just have her go all in. I don't know, man. I feel like something more could be done with Ramlethal just as a design. I feel like something more could be done with Ramlethal too, man, because it's a damn shame. And I didn't even talk about Axel. I'm not going to talk about Axel. Please, anybody that's watching this video, please look up Axel's old moveset, and you'll see why Axel players also don't know. They don't know. The Strive Axel players don't know. They're missing moves. They're missing gameplay design that was built into these characters in the previous game, and they were so much cooler here, and now in Strive they're just pressing one button. I guess they won. What is that? It's not enjoyable. It's like not fun to just press 2 buttons and win and be at an advantage the whole time. Yeah, you nerfed Ramlethal and Strive just a little bit, but not enough. But she's still doing the same thing she was doing. You just changed the direction of the sword tossing. So before I leave this game and go to the last part of the video and go back into Guilty Gear Strive, I'm going to talk about a few mechanics that I completely forgot about. I didn't talk about this, but this is the first one. Blitz shield. Now, to some people watching this video, it'd be like, that animation looks familiar. This is the same animation that Leo has for Wild Assault. The Arc System, you copy and pasted some animations in, right? I get that. I understand. That's smart. However, this mechanic, Blitz shield, let me explain to people that don't know what this is. Let me explain what Blitz shield was. So, if a character were to run at you, you see that? It was a real simple mechanic, but man, did that help you get out of shit. Let me do it another way too. Hold on. You could also charge it. And let me see. Let's charge this up. Right? And this is what would happen. Your opponent would get knocked down, and you could actually attack after that. But here we go. See? That doesn't work. But if you were to charge it the other way, see that? I held the down version of that, and I countered the low sweep. Now, if I had done that the regular way, this is what would have happened. See that? Because I didn't press low first. Arc System, I know damn well that if this was Strive, Blitz Shield was in Strive, we would have been able to use Blitz Shield no matter if we were standing or we were crouching. Because you guys made the game that easy, and you don't have to worry about shit like that, like in Xrd. But that's how it was in Xrd, right? So, here's another thing. I don't understand why Blitz Shield isn't in this game, because Blitz Shield would have been helpful fighting characters like Angie with how you buffed them, fighting characters like Gold Lewis with his guard crush. Oh my god, I would love to have Blitz Shield for a character like Gold Lewis. Man. I just, what happened, man? I don't know. I'm glad y'all brought animations back like this, and you put it in to Strive, right? I'm glad you did, but at the same time, it's like, it's for a mechanic that's not the mechanic I wish it was. Reflect Shield, I don't like Reflect Shield in Strive, I'm gonna be honest with you. I wish Blitz Shield was in Strive, because look at the meter. It takes up 25% meter. And you know how much meter you get in Strive. You get meter immediately in Strive. Just for moving, you get so much meter in Strive. Although in Strive, you only have 2 halves of the bar. Unfortunately, in Strive, it's not separated into fourths for the tension meter, so you can't just do that. This mechanic probably would have taken like half of your attention, which is fair because Strive is a higher damage game. So now for this next part of the video, I'm going to play gameplay of Xrd Rev 2 back in the replays when I was playing this game in 2021, 2023, just some matches so you can understand what I'm talking about when I'm saying there was so much more that this game could be giving people. Strive could be giving people so much more. And you guys decided to tone it down to this degree where it's like, ooh, wow, what? You didn't have to do all this. You didn't. You didn't have to do all this. You could have simplified certain movesets, definitely. Like Ramlethal's, that's a lot. That's a lot. Understandable. I know why she has a Rekka. I get it. But like all the other stuff she was able to do, wow, you removed it. You removed it. You turned it into like the most bland character imaginable. When she had other moves that you gave her and you never brought them back into the game. Hopefully the gameplay you see here will further flesh out the point that I've been making, where Strive could have so much more. And you guys didn't go all in like I know you guys can. Arc System, I know you guys can go further. You're just choosing not to do it, and you're like refusing to just go all in, just go crazy. People would love that. They've already learned how to play Strive. The game's been out for years. It's popular. People wouldn't mind it if they had to press a few more buttons at this point. Let's continue. I'll show the gameplay now.
Soul versus Leo. Get ready to rock. Heaven or hell. Duel. One. Let's rock. It's not over yet. Duel. All or nothing. Duel 3. Turn up the heat. C. Get ready to rock. Heaven or hell. Duel. 1. Let's rock. It's not over yet. It's not over yet. Duel. 2. Turn up the heat. It's not over yet. It's not over yet. May win. Straight.
あ、武器だと思ったらそれ旗だよ。使い方間違ってるよ。
Slayer versus Ike. Get ready to rock. Heaven or hell. Duel. 1. Let's rock. It's not over yet. Duel. 2. Keep on rocking.
はしたなようだが、オードブルでは満足できなくてね。
Slayer, win, straight.
君の生き様を見れば人は嘆き哀れむだろう。しかし私にとってはそれも美しき輝きの一つだ。凍てつく私の心を溶かす種火となる。
The last thing I want to talk about is character balance. I have these two characters on the screen for a reason, because when it comes to balancing, this game is suffering. It really is. I don't know why you designed Baiken the way that she is right now when you had a full moveset to work from. And you even put part of her moveset from one of her air parries, her heavy / air parry where she slams down on the ground. You put that in her dust combo in Strive. And for some reason, you changed everything else about her when all you had to do was just leave her alone. Like, she didn't have to get anything removed at all. All of her Suzuran follow-up moves would have been perfect for this game because she runs forward and parries you. And I don't know what you guys were thinking there. Baiken would have been just fine if you just left her alone and just kind of minimized what kind of parry follow-up she was able to do. Gold Lewis, oh my fucking god. What were you guys thinking? Who designed the moveset for this character, yo? Why is everything he does guard crush? Almost everything. Of course, he has the Gatling gun and Skyfish, right? But still, up close with the dash canceling and the roaming canceling, and he can fly across the screen and Behemoth Typhoon too? Oh no. Like, no matter what you do, this character is just getting you hit with chip damage, wasting meter. Like, some of his pressure almost goes on forever unless they mess up. Yeah, there it is. This is the one. This one. This is the Behemoth Typhoon people use all the time with him, right? And I wonder, Arc System, do you know how to deal with this shit yourselves? Developers, do y'all know what to do when Behemoth Typhoon gets you trapped in the corner with this one, and then the one where he swings downwards from behind him, and the one where he's just like full on swinging that shit upwards? This one here, this one, that one right there. Do y'all know what to do? Because I still don't. It's been like 3 fucking years, and even when he does this today, I go like, I have to throw out a move that goes far enough to stop his advancing. I still have to guess what he's gonna do, and I'm guessing for my fucking life. When you fight a Gold Lewis player that knows how to just stop using Behemoth Typhoons altogether, and he just runs at you, and he goes, oh man, I love this game. Oh my god. I fucking hate this character so much because he's designed around some of the dumbest mechanics I've ever seen y'all put in the game. Guard Crush. Guard Crush is a mechanic that prevents you from playing the damn game. I get so sick and tired of this mechanic. I know you changed this mechanic for Soul and Potemkin, but like, the fact that Potemkin was able to run around guard crushing people with Garuda Impact for 3 fucking years is insane to me, because he was already strong at that point when he was doing that shit, yo. He was already good. Y'all just kept buffing this character. I have words about what you guys did with Potemkin, and I don't. He used to be a character that I would like to fight. Now I can't stand fighting them. I just put up with it because I'm like, you're the only one who wants to fight me. I play as Leo and Chaos. I guess I have no choice. I'm at this point now where when I fight Potemkin, I'm like, if I lose in the beginning, I know why. Gave him armor on that one fucking move, huh? The balance of this game needs to change, because we can't have characters like Baiken that can run in and do multiple 50-50s just for standing still on the screen at mid-range, right from round start even. We can't keep having characters like Gold Lewis that have long-range normals that go into some of the most insane pressure. Lucy even. Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about Lucy as well too while we're here. Lucy is doing the same shit that Bridget does, but Lucy, she can slide across the screen at Mach speeds and then do an overhead mix-up for free. Like, What? But you made a character that can just run at you repeatedly, has the speed of Milia for some reason. I think I said this in a video like that I made a long time ago, maybe like 2 years ago now. When you first buffed Viking and Testament a long time ago in season 2, that's when I knew something was wrong. Arc System, I don't know what you've been doing with making characters that all have long range moves like this, and they can just like start throwing shit out repeatedly, and like these characters are getting faster, they're becoming even more safe after they whiff moves, by the way. Even when they whiff, some of these characters can just backdash and shit. Like, what is this? What is this shit? Make up your fucking mind. Do they have weaknesses or don't they? Why is their only weakness whether or not the player fucks up? You see what I mean? Like Viking. The only real weakness for a Viking player when they know how to play as this version of Viking is if they decide to run in and try to throw, and then you have to like tech the throw, otherwise you're stuck here. Otherwise you're stuck here, and uh-oh. That's a 50-50. And then it leads to another one, and then it leads to another one, and then it leads to another one, and then it leads to another one. You know what I mean? That's fucking stupid. I feel like this is only because you watered down the movesets for these characters. So now nobody has any choice but to do the same 3 things on repeat and kind of cycle through their options and sometimes do those options in fucking reverse. You see what I mean? Like, it's frustrating. Like, I want a character that releases that doesn't have to have me guess whether or not they're gonna mash or do this. And let's not forget this. And you can make it easier for Viking to do this shit. Like, what are we doing? Once again, Viking can just do a lot of damage just for being on the screen. Look at this shit. Look at this. I don't get why. Look at that fucking damage, bro. You know how much effort I put into that combo? I put like barely any brain power into that shit. I just pressed 2 buttons down and just fucking worked, dog. What are we doing? And then if you ever wonder why people still have questions about how to play the game, it's because you just rewarded them for doing shit like that. They didn't do nothing. I have to stop the video soon. I think I'm gonna end it here. I think I'm gonna end it. It's the end of the video. I'm in the outro now. We're in the outro. Play the outro. I'm breaking the fuck down. I'm breaking down. I'm breaking down. It's not good. It's not looking good for me. One last thing I want to talk about is character intros. I don't understand why the character intros in this game are so boring. Please, please, please bring them back to where they were in Xrd. I don't think it's fair that characters like Viking, Johnny, Unica, Venom, Lucy, they have good intros, but everybody else has terrible intros. I don't think that's fair, especially for the main cast. So hopefully you guys saw that too. Hopefully you've been animating stuff for them this whole time, maybe even dynamic character intros. And I'm gonna actually just bring this one up real quick. I'm gonna go to this menu and I'm gonna just give you one example of how you can make some of these intros really just like stand out. And oh my God, this is one idea that I have. This is from the announcement trailer, right? Imagine if it said mankind knew that they could not change society, the whole thing pops up and then it zooms in and then it has this happen. Imagine this is an intro for Soul and Kai specifically. And it starts off like that. This would have been the coolest intro for these characters. It would be so fucking fantastic. I would jump out of my seat if I saw something like that for a character intro. And then they clash swords, they talk shit, and then they knock each other away from each other, and then it says, Duel 1, let's rock. Like, I would fucking scream. That shit would, oh my God. I'm thinking about it, it's in my head now. That's just gonna be running around in my head. Oh man, I don't think you're gonna do it though. I don't think you're gonna do it. Shit. But that's it for the video. Arc System, please. 2.0 is next year, right? So I hope that this whole time you've been working on ways to make this game even more interesting. I am praying. If anybody wants to give this video a thumbs up, feel free to do so. That'd be awesome. Share it around, please. This took me a minute to make. God damn it. Like, there's more I want to talk about, but I just don't have the words for it right now. I could talk about this shit for a long time, but I don't want to. I really don't. I'm just gonna hope Arc System figures it out. I'm gonna hope that 2.0 is good. I hope that people are gonna enjoy the game past 2.0 and not just like leave because they don't like the changes. And I'm just one concerned Guilty Gear fan that's probably stuck in the fucking past. I'm probably just stuck in the past and I need to just get over myself, right? All right, that's it. I'll see y'all later. Take care of yourselves. Peace.